Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We are down to the last big box for the Deep Madness marathon here of unboxing that I've been doing. This one's called the Rise of Dagon. So this one is another expansion for the Deep Madness system. I'm going to spin this box upside down to show you guys exactly why this one is unique. We'll get inside of it, show you the components, but I'll let you know that this is going to be the last major box for the game. The rest of this stuff will be done in one video for a lot of the smaller expansions that are about this size. There's about 4 or 5 of them for a miniature and some cards, as well as some dice, some plastic token packs, things like that. But hopefully by the time we are done this unboxing extravaganza, you will know and understand everything that will come inside, at least the original experience for Deep Madness. So without further ado, let's flip this box over on its back and talk about what's inside of this one and what makes this one special and why you may want to add this one to your collection. What happened in the Kadath Deep Sea mining facility before the Lang Corporation's investigation unit uncovered its horrors? You're about to find out. Prepare to enter a world that cannot exist, where a famously unsettling novel is pulling itself free of its pages and normal human beings are transforming into terrifying monstrosities before your eyes, including you. Welcome to Rise of Dagon, an expansion for the board game Deep Madness. In addition to including 26 new miniatures, this expansion also features several new gameplay mechanics. Now that's what I love to hear. That make each game session even more intense. Rise of Dagon's 3 chapters run as an ongoing campaign, forcing infected investigators to continually delve into the sickening deep ones, while being pursued by their personal shadow of filth. It also introduces the new domain and enlighten mechanism, which offers a small opportunity for investigators to gain an edge in the seemingly impossible battle against the darkness. With the new room tiles, search cards, madness cards, and conscious cards to explore and collect, Rise of Dagon further offers 2 new investigators, 3 new monster types, and 1 new epic monster, the Lord Dagon himself. But there is certainly a lot here to dive into. So, with the box cover removed, we move into the Rise of Dagon expansion here. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so we got ourselves the booklet here. So, this booklet is obviously actually kind of similar to the Oracle's Betrayal, I believe was the last one we did. The cover's very cool, unique, and it's actually quite thick. I think it's probably going to be close to 19 pages again. Yeah, it is, 19 pages. So same similar setup with the rulebook that you've seen before. The book opens, there's some story there, expansion overview, your components list, your wonderful new investigators, your wonderful new creatures. Oh my gosh, that thing is crazy and creepy. Some new monsters, deep ones, hydras, and shadow of filth, as well as a whole bunch more components, and of course some new tokens, because the new mechanism in the game will call for different things, so they need to be marked. You got your using this expansion section, additional rules. Red space lines look like a new thing within this, introduced in this particular one. So it's showing you how those work across multiple examples. Shadow of Filth is down here, how they work. Looks like they got some colored bases for them. Green ones, in fact. Domain and Enlighten are 2 different new mini cards, which we'll probably see when we go through the unboxing. The important concepts here have linked investigators, spawns, new devoured effects, and then we get into the storybook. So the storybook opens up with a chapter 1, Rite of Bile, which sounds absolutely thrilling. Sounds like everyone would want to sign up for something like that. And then the second one is the Virulent Whispers. Third one, actually I should probably show you guys the actual, I jump past the stage itself, show you the board. So this is kind of what the first one looks like in terms of its setup. I don't want to really show you too much about the actual content because that's kind of spoilerish, but I don't mind showing the actual setup so you can see the layouts of the board and how much effort is in there. There's a devouring tracking I have to learn about. That's kind of cool. Maybe that's what some of those tokens I got earlier were for. And then Dagon Rising. Of course, that's got to be the last one. And it goes all the way. So there's 3 in this one, just like there was in the Oracle's Betrayal. There's going to be a whole bunch more tokens, of course, for this, because it's specific to this particular expansion. Can't speak to what these ones are, but it's really cool to see this many different types of tokens. I'm not familiar with any of these. None of them are ringing a bell at all. So these are very, very much specific to this particular expansion. So that's really cool. Nice. So we're getting some more tiles as well. So here we go. We got this package that we can go through. We'll start with this one and then go from there. All right, so moving into the tiles here, we got tile number 31 here. Very, very cool looking art on that one. That's pretty awesome. Opposite side of it, complete and utter destruction. Some of the coolest mechanics in this game. Ooh, we got ourselves a cave here, it looks like, inside the mining facility. That's interesting. I like that. And they got a red area. I'm guessing that's where really terrible things come out of. And this area, this of course can turn to red as well. So those are the two larger tiles for the game. Then we have this pack here, which looks like there is 3 tiles in this one. So let's take a look at these. Okay, so we have these 3 tiles to go through. So this one here has got some interesting artwork on it. Looks pretty cool. And then, of course, things go south, and the room looks like this. A little bit less impressive than it was before. We got this one here. That's kind of cool. Get a decent look at the artwork. If we're flipping it over to, it's completely engulfed in disease. And then a corridor passage here. It also going dark. Alright, so those are the tiles in this particular expansion, and now we move to the actual contents within the box. You'll notice there's some colored bases here. Pretty cool. Don't know what and which ones they're for just yet, but we'll be finding out soon enough. So you got those in there. You got some cards. So the first pack right here is going to talk about your investigators as well as your monsters, so we should probably find out what's inside this package. So time for a close-up here on these cards. So we got ourselves Meredith White, or Wait, if I'm saying that correctly. Or what? I'm not too sure. You can correct me in the comments below on that one. Regan, oh, these guys might be related in some way, so that's kind of interesting. One's an asset and one's an executive. Interesting. Not sure how that works. Deep Ones, familiar with this from many, many Cthulhu-based games, so they're cool. Hydras, yep. Shadow of Filth, not so much, but that looks pretty terrifying. Dagon himself, that's pretty crazy. There's a couple of them, and then there's a card here specific to that. I'm not too sure if these are... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so there's a mechanism with the filth characters. There's a whole bunch of those. Not going to get too much into that because I don't want to spoil anything. And we'll move on to the next pack of cards here. The thicker pack, the standard size pack, which will give us some cool new artifacts and items. Alright, starting off the top of this deck, we got the Sacrificial Dagger. Of course, you need one of those if you're going to go after all these guys. The Incinerator, nice. We got ourselves like a flamethrower. The Weird Statue, yeah, that is a weird statue. The neck, nice. This is cool. This has got Cthulhu all over it. A weird eyeball. So we got a bunch of these cards here. A bunch of these for the specific scenarios, or maybe it's a mechanism within the game. I'm still not sure what these are 100%, but obviously it ties into Dagon Rising. And these are scenario-specific cards for each chapter, so there's different things that can occur. You read those. Collective Renewal. Each investigator heals one wound, then discards all the domain tokens from this card. Interesting. So that's an interesting mechanic there going on with this. I'm not sure what that's all about. The backs of the cards look like this. So those new cards I'm not familiar with. Well, the majority of these actually look like that. We've got these ones which we're familiar with. These we're very familiar with. Those we're familiar with. And those. All right. So that's all of that. And now we can move on to the last pile of cards, which is this small mini deck of cards, which will have a mix of investigator and some monster stuff going on in it. Okay, so we're going to start it off with Meredith and Regan. And we're going to move into the cards here for the enemies. The Deep One's got a couple cards here, or a few of them. The Hydra's got a few cards. Shadow Filth. Sounds like it's got a game mechanic going on with it as well. Dagon's bad. And then, of course, we got these for the room, the specific room tiles that we just gained. These particular cards, not too sure what they mean or what they are. On the opposite side, they look like this. But there's a symbol on some of these ones. Some of them don't have it. So it's obviously some type of mechanism triggering there. Oh, 2 of them. That's probably pretty bad. Interesting. We've got Focus Restoration. These cards look like this on the back. That's pretty cool. So we got a whole bunch of those. Oh, these must be the ones that tie in to the glyphs or something like that I pulled just a few seconds ago on the bigger card. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm not going to show you too much of that because I don't want to spoil anything. So that's pretty cool. Again, totally different mechanics and add-ins to the base game, which is again why these expansions, regardless of which one you seem to pick up, add into that game, making it not just about picking up some cool new monsters and adding them in the game, but also gaining tiles, scenarios, all that good stuff. So there's a lot there. So now we're going to get into the miniatures, which is the last piece of this particular set. And I'm just going to make sure we get all the tape off the sides. And we will dive right in and see what these miniatures look like. At this point, I don't know the actual current tally for the amount of miniatures in this game, but it's a lot. It is quite staggering how many miniatures there actually are in this game. It's crazy. So let's see here. We'll lay this down like this. Okay, here we go. So starting off down here, we've got this one. So it's one of the new investigators. It looks like she's seen better days. She's got, looks like a dagger kind of going towards her eye and stuff like this, but it's a cool sculpt nonetheless. This is the other investigator here, standing in a much more normal position, standing straight up. Very easy to determine these guys from any of the monsters, of course, with the shading of the plastic. Different color. This guy's pretty cool looking. Let's wait for the camera to focus there. That guy's pretty awesome. So you get a bunch of those. They line the bottom of the tray here. Then you get 5 of these ones. Those are interesting. Those might be the Hydra, I think. The filth, I'm guessing, is what these guys are. Oh, that's a crazy sculpt. Look at the face on that guy. That's pretty nuts. I like that one. That one's actually pretty creepy. That's pretty creepy on the scale. And then at the very, very top, you get 6 of these guys. Very interesting indeed. In terms of the big bad for this one, it's this guy right here. Pretty cool. You got tentacles wrapped around pillars, big mouth, looking scary. That's pretty impressive. Even got some, like I said, some of the bigger monsters have terrain on the base, so it really just adds to it, makes it pop. That is it for the Rise of Dagon. That is, and of course that was Dagon himself. That is the Rise of Dagon expansion, so hopefully you guys now have a better understanding of what comes inside the box with this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have probably one more unboxing video to go, where I'm going to lump in a number of small box expansions and some small items just to show you kind of all the different integral small pieces that you can potentially add into Deep Madness that end up adding up to a monstrosity of pile of stuff. So thank you guys again for watching and your support, and as always, keep on rolling solo.